Hey guys, Furum here, and today I am going to be showing you a car that many people have requested on my channel, actually. It is the TVR Sagaris. Yes, most people actually bought this car quite a while ago, but I just got it recently, and I decided to do a tune on it that not many people have done. So, my rank is 1473, my tuning is 0500, so top speed maxed, and then in Pro Kits I have pro'd everything out. Now, I've not seen anyone else do this, and it's actually quite good in multiplayer at this rank, so let's get into some races and see how they go. So here we are, first on San Diego Harbor, against a Camaro and another Sagaris, Kasara Nandan K, who is actually a supporter of my videos, and I got in quite a few races with him, many of which are in this video. So yes, as you saw at the beginning of this race, the Sagaris has decent acceleration, not as good as the MP48, but better than the Camaro, who is, I believe, the car in third place back there. So as you can see around here, it handles very well. However, as you will see later, its drifting is not nearly as good. So its nitro efficiency is decent. However, if you triple tap, it will run out quite fast. So around this tight corner, the Sagaris cannot drift all that well. However, since I pro'd it out, I upgraded suspension more, which gives me better handling and drifting, and exhaust, which gives me better acceleration than all the Sagarises around this rank that have just upgraded nitro again, and therefore do not have as good of acceleration or handling as mine. Now, my car goes 276 at this rank with a tuning kit. The 1481 with nitro at 5 can go 2 or 3 miles per hour faster, but it sacrifices quite a bit of acceleration handling, so I like my tune the best personally. I made the Sagaris purple as I do all my cars. Now, for the looks of it, I dislike the back. I think it's kind of ugly. Sorry if I offended anyone because of that. However, I do like the front quite a bit. So here, falling through the warehouse, then doing a barrel roll off the side, is the fastest route through San Diego Harbor, at least I believe it is. There may be a new route. There's new routes found on maps all the time, it seems, and it's hard to keep track of them all. So, we finished first. We beat that other Sagaris, and we beat the Camaro as well. So, let's see what their ranks were. So, there was the 1475 double boosted Sagaris, and an unboosted Camaro, and everyone was in Champion League. So now I'm going to show you the Sagaris' power against the MP48. The other popular car around this rank, besides the Sagaris and the Camaro SS. And you may be thinking, why is the Sagaris called the mid-rank Vulcan? Well, it's for a couple reasons. One is that it is so well balanced, it has decent everything pretty much, unfortunately except for the drifting radius. And another reason it is called a mid-rank Vulcan is because it can beat MP48s most of the time and Camaros some of the time if driven properly. The Camaro can be called a mid-rank Homage and the MP48 a mid-rank MP425, which are the three cars that dominate, and he tried to knock me down. The three cars that dominate above the 1600 rank, as the Sagaris, MP48, and Camaro are the three cars that dominate around this rank. However, sometimes you will find a Vulcan and Homage, but most of the time they stay above 1550 to 1600. So as you can see here, I'm catching up to the MP48, and I'm not sure what just happened to him, but I've passed him before the first lap is over. So if had this been one lap, I would still have won. So around these corners, it's best to drift punch, like I just did, or do the Dr. Illusion drift, as people like to call it, because he's one of the only YouTubers that uses it. Basically, it's when you very quickly drift and punch constantly around a corner, and in cars like the Sagaris, it actually works quite well. However, I prefer just to drift punch most of the time because I feel that the other way of doing it is a little bit unreliable, at least in my experience it has been. So I just drift punch, and it usually gets around pretty well. So here I am coming up to the end of the race, finished it in front of the MP48 and other Sagaris. So let's see what ranks they were. They were the same 1475 double boosted Sagaris, and the triple boosted MP48 that disconnected. So in this race, I'm facing two Camaros and that other Sagaris again on Nevada, reversed this time it is. And because of its bad drifting, it's hard to make it around this corner, and so I wrecked in the middle. However, the Sagaris has great catch-up abilities, as you will see in this race. And I believe that is the Camaro that's right behind me, so the Sagaris is the one that is way up there. So while I play this, I would just like to say that in terms of looks, the Sagaris, in my opinion, isn't that great. I think the back end is a little bit ugly. Sorry if I offended anyone, I just don't like it. However, I really like the front of it, and making the car purple, in my opinion, makes it even better. So, coming up to this corner up here, if you stay wide, like this, and then start drifting early, then punch, it will allow you to get around it and not hit the side as much and not lose as much speed as if you were to just go up to it and start drifting late, which is one thing that you do not want to do in a car that has a bad drift radius. Like the DeVal 16, for example. In a DeVal 16 Cup that happened recently, the Meteor Day Cup, I think it was, the trick for getting around the corners was to start drifting much earlier than you would in other cars. And I think using that trick helped me get a better position. So here I am coming into the second lap of this race. As you can see, I have caught up a little bit to this one and not gonna try to make it in there again. Had I done that, I would probably have wrecked just like what happened the first time. I believe this is one of the safest, fast ways to get through the Nevada tunnel. Here I've learned to get onto the bridge. It is better to go on the first one rather than the second one on the right, because on the second one, especially if you flat spin up it, you may hit this one that's right in front of me now, and it'll put you down into the place right back there and cause you to wreck. It has happened to me on quite a few times, especially in faster cars. So around here, I did my drift early thing, and he lost speed, I think, by not drifting early. As you can see, this gives you a big advantage. And here, don't go down left, because that will slow cars down that have bad acceleration. And yeah, I like giving little tips about the tracks and stuff in my videos as well, especially for the car that I'm driving, so you can understand a little better maybe how to drive it. So I beat the double boosted Sagaris and the 1450 and 1480 unboosted Camaros. Yes, unboosted Camaros do not do well against boosted Sagarises, but watch out for boosted Camaros, as you will see in this race. Yeah, always try to pick twisty tracks on 1 or 2 laps, but definitely twisty tracks when you're playing this car, because on twisty tracks, the Camaros will be less likely to be able to catch up. See, now it's the Sagarises and the MP48 right here. However, because this Barcelona is a very straight track, that car right behind me is now catching up really fast. That is the Camaro. So pick tracks like Dubai and possibly Ice Cave and San Diego Harbor, stuff like that in the Camaro. As you can see, he has already passed me, and I'm not sure why I just wrecked right there. The Sagaris usually does a pretty good job with not wrecking when bumping into walls and stuff like that, but sometimes it doesn't do that great of a job. The Homage is one that's a really tanky car that you can bump into walls and bump into cars and everything, and it's hard to make it wreck, it seems. So I have made a habit of leaving the race when I'm going to come in last or close to last, because I will lose a lot of points. Even though this is free race, since it is a habit for me to leave, I just went ahead. Sorry, I do not know what the other cars are, but I'm fairly certain that Camaro was boosted, because he came up really fast. Watch out for them. So, in this last race, I would just like to give my overall consensus on this car. So, it is possible to reach champion with this car. I will put a link in the description to a video of Dr. Illusion reaching champion in it. However, it is kind of difficult, but I believe it is possibly the only car that you can buy with credits that will get you to Champion League. Mainly because a lot of the people that get to Champion League around this level play in Camaros, and Camaros will beat you a lot of the time, which is why you really should pick twisty tracks all the time so as to not get bothered by Camaros as much. So this car is easy to drive if you can figure out the drifting issue around the corners. Just drift punch or do the Dr. Illusion drift and it should go fine. But I would recommend this car as a car for people who wish to get to champion and don't have many tokens to spend on a car. It will definitely get you to pro and higher pro levels even if you cannot reach champion. It's the easiest credit car to do that in. And around this rank, this car is 10 to 15 miles per hour faster than the MP48s. So given a long track or a 2-lap race, you should be able to beat the MP48s pretty easily. However, the Camaros are about 30 miles per hour faster, so yes, always pick twisty tracks. So guys, thank you for watching, like and subscribe if you've enjoyed and would like me to make more Asphalt 8 videos. Also, check out my Minecraft videos, which I usually upload weekly, sometimes with friends, and I will see you later. Goodbye.